Hello, this is my third and final list review for today. Been a busy day. I am at home right now because of the exam period. I am a teacher at a college, and right today I have nothing to do, and then the next few days will be extremely busy with exams. So that's how life goes for me in June. This list that I'm going to talk about now is from Simon, and he's from London, and he has sent me this list, which is an attempt to make Italians competitive for a tournament. And he is using the right bits of Italy to do that. I can say that much. So let me talk you through the list, and we'll see what happens. It's a 15 order dice list, 1,000 points. It has the second lieutenant regular. I can't remember. I think in Italy you can buy an inexperienced second lieutenant, which I would do if I were you, Simon, because it will save you some points. Right now, your lieutenant costs 50 points, which is too expensive. If you can buy a 35 points inexperienced one, why not? Because you're simply using him as a tax or as a morale bonus, and as a morale bonus, buy the cheapest one you can get. There is something to be said for going the route of using him as a snap 2, but that will, being regular, will not help him in that regard. So I think perhaps we should go with an inexperienced one if we can. Then infantry. Now, the infantry of Italy becomes very, very important. It's the backbone, it's what you need, and it's what you need to stay alive, most importantly. So he has 8-man units of riflemen. He has 4 8-man units of riflemen. I really like this. I think regular units need to be 8-man or more. If you're going to go the route of inexperienced shirkers, yes, you can get away with 5-man units, right, and try to make them survive. But if you want the infantry to do anything, and you do want that, you want them to be in ambush in hard cover. Then you need them to be regulars, and you need them to, because that makes them more survivable, and you need them to have rifles so that they can sit there on ambush and go down if anything really threatens them. If the enemy starts shooting in with some indirect fire, then just move, like go back out of the ruin and break the line of sight. But otherwise, stay on ambush, stay in cover, and shoot out. And be ready to move once you need to go to the objectives, right? So already think ahead. Turn 4, I need to move the first 6 inches out of cover, then I need to move the next 6 inches onto the objective. So, and that is what the infantry needs to do. Until turn 4, it needs to survive. In most of our games, anyway. Now, the final unit of infantry is the Guastatori Destruction Group. And these are amazing. They are really, really good. And they are especially good because you can buy 2 flamethrowers. This is just insane. 2 flamethrowers in 1 unit. You can simply erase anything that these are pointed at. This is almost overkill, I would say, and they are very, very expensive because, like the way that Simon is building it here, he has 4 riflemen and 2 flamethrowers, and they cost 128 points for 6 regular dudes. But it is 6 regular dudes with 2 flamethrowers, so 40 of those points are flamethrower points. This is insane, and this unit really needs some transport, so let's see what he has in that regards. Then he buys the mortar, regular with a spotter. I don't think you need this. You can easily get away with buying a medium mortar, inexperienced, and then just sitting in some cover somewhere and shooting out. You don't need it to be regular. You don't need the spotter necessarily if you want to be very competitive about this. A sniper team, regular, perfectly fine. Sometimes buying a veteran one is better for the sniper duels, but depending on how many of those you're going to get, we'll see. and a flamethrower team regular. Now, that means that there are 3 flamethrowers in 2 units here. All of it needs some kind of transport to be really effective, but it is really good counter-punch weapons that you have in this list. Really, really good. Simon also buys the Solothurn anti-tank rifle. I know people who are fans of this. I am not myself, but I can see it work. It is a +2 penetration for soft-skinned vehicles to get the enemy to go down or to put pins on that tank coming at you. I can see it work, especially maybe in an environment where brain carriers and Darker Stewards are prevalent. Yes, the anti-tank rifle can certainly start hunting those and be relatively successful at least putting pins on them. Then a Beretta, 20mm. If you're good at the Beretta, if you're really good, this weapon is awesome. If you, like me, are bad at using it, then don't. It needs to sit somewhere where it has a lot of line of vision, where it can sort of divide up the table into firing lanes and lock them down and be on ambush then. Because it is threatening to most soft-skinned and light tanks. So that's what you want with that. The L6 with flamethrower turret. I like this one. This is very expensive. It is an 8+ though. And it's 105 points. So it is a very expensive, very interesting tank. The only thing that really bugs me about this is that it has one-man turret. That sucks a bit. But it does have the 12-inch flamethrower, which is really, really nice on a vehicle, right? So it's a very, very threatening tank, and it can be pushed into areas where there is a lot of enemy threats. And this is the 4th flamethrower in the list. So he has a lot of things that he can push up and sort of send to the areas that they need to go. And this also means that his infantry behind will be safe, because the enemy will focus on the Death Star of Flamer Death that's coming towards him, right? All the shots will be going into that. The infantry behind will be what wins the game. Turn 4 and 5, moving up onto the objectives. And then comes the transport, and we have a regular truck with 12-man capacity. Does it have? No, it doesn't. I don't think you need it to be regular if you're not buying an MMG. Most games you'll start this truck on the table anyway. If you're outflanking, I know people who do outflank, and I would never do that. I would always start my trucks on the table. You can outflank this, and it can work. It doesn't need to. And it is a 12-man transport, which, again, you don't need 12 men, do you? It's too big, unless you're putting both of your Guastatore units into this, which, of course, you could do, but that's a lot of flamethrowers going into the... let's see here. One Guastatore there. No. Sorry. He has one Guastatore group. Then I think the truck is too big. You have 12 men capacity. You only need 6. I think I would downsize it, if you can, to something that's less big and make it inexperienced, saving you a few points, giving you a few points for something else. And a Fiat for the flamethrower team, I again would make this inexperienced. There's no reason to have it regular. Most likely it'll just die anyway. So it's just save the points, use them for something else. That is my talk through of competitive Italians. And one thing I would note here is that the transports, because they really need to survive, because in Italian list you can't afford to go down by you can't afford to start losing your order dice, your units, because that will affect your morale. So I would keep these back. I would keep them behind cover, and I would just make them inexperienced. There's no reason to have them be any more expensive than they already are. And then use them as a counterpunch unit. Throw them up like late game, middle game, where you think like, now I need to start moving my infantry and I need the enemy to focus on something, or when you need to counterpunch the enemy off some objectives. This is your go-to. That's the truck, the Fiat, and your tank moving up in like concerted effort at one point of the enemy. Don't spread them out too much. Keep them centrally, and then move out to one point of the enemy where you need them to go and kill stuff. That would be my advice. Simon, good luck. I hope you do well, and I hope you could use this for something. Cheers.